already displayed below your screen TV, so you can call in or you can send text messages. So remember, when you call in, indicate your name. Make sure you mention your name and where you're coming from. And if it's a text, indicate your name and where you are texting from. Anyway, the program was started already. So let's just go to the first topic we have for today. Now, this one is quite interesting, and I'm bringing it because I want Nuruddin to do justice to it as obvious. Anyway, the lawmaker Kabiru, Kabiru, my palace, renovates 80 cemeteries in Zamfara state. Now, the lawmaker Kabiru has renovated cemeteries in Zamfara as part of constituency project. Kabiru, my palace, a member of the House of Representatives representing Gusa Tafe Federal Constituency in Zamfara state, has renovated that. And of course, he did that on Tuesday. Well, my palace said that the renovation formed part of his constituency project and marked a second year in office as a second-term lawmaker. Well, he, according to him, I says, and I quote, "We observe that the poor state of cemeteries across many communities in my constituency, since we all know that someday we'll end up in this place, it is important to improve the condition of our final resting rooms," he said. Well, he emphasized the religious and societal importance of maintaining cemeteries, and especially in Islam, stating that clean and well-kept graveyards help prevent calamity in the society. The lawmaker also announced plans to pay monthly allowances to cemetery guards and workers, along with the provision of essential working tools. He urged residents to continue offering prayers for an end to insecurity in the state and led support for the government's initiative aimed at fostering peace and stability. Commending the initiative, the district head of Tafe East, Aliyu Abubakar, described the project as timely and commendable. Well, over to you, Mr. Nuruddin. Well, you can see, obviously, we have been saying this. Somehow, it always sounds like there's a note of disparity amongst our leaders. But what do you think about this?
Let me take it from this. What he has done is a noble cause.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have been third constituency project.
Okay.
It's a noble cause. And you cannot beautify cemetery. Maybe what you will have done, what has done, maybe fences, they clear some certain places. You understand now? This is what ordinary persons are doing now. What is it? When you go to Agege, you have Jabojo there. We have different type of cemetery. Morkas, the first formal Arabic educational center in the southwest, go to the north central. That is being run like a proper school. They have curriculum, they have Morkas. In Agege has his own cemetery. Community has his own cemetery. Hausa community has its own cemetery. What is cemetery? If an individual do a cemetery, in my own in Abeokuta, we have some family place.
Yeah.
Yes.
That everybody in the family is where they
They'll bury them.
So what is different? What is now? It's a noble cause in Islam. At least providing a very good place. But what he will have done is to have bought lands. That resident to maybe the one they have is not, but bought several lands maybe for that. You can't call it that one a constituency project as if you use money. What of those people that are Christian in that state? What of those people that are traditionalists in that state? Then the one that I said is going to be giving money to all those guys, then that one is the one you can call the one that have direct benefit to human beings. Because what people don't understand about constituency project is like all these lawmakers, they don't know the meaning. Constituency project is this. Any project you are going to do that will have direct contact and effect with your constituents. No dead one. Yes, now someone that have died has died. If you like, go and throw him inside. If you like, go and warn the person. That person don't know again. So the ruhu has gone, the spirit has gone. The remaining one is all carcass. It's the one you pack inside the. So one thing here is that you will have talked about one thing: the level of insecurity in the states. In his own constituents, what are those people that are homeless? What are those children that are out of school? What are those people in public hospital that they cannot pay for drugs? They cannot even pay for treatment. What of those people that still have a high mortality rate that you can make sure, okay, let me build a primary health center. He cannot do that. He's now calling renovating. What's there in renovating? When you get to Lantoro Cemetery, my family owns that particular cemetery and we give it to the government. So what is there that you are now saying we give the land in the city that is not even 1 acre, that is not 2 acres. For those people that know Lantoro Cemetery, it's owns by maternal family and we give it. There is a document to that effect that we gave them for life. In the city like that. So why is the one you are now saying someone that is collecting money? Go and think it. Honorable, go and think very well. This one is what you have done in your personal evolution. Don't tag constituency project to it. But it's a noble cause. But it shouldn't have been tagged to a constituency project. That is the only thing. Our people in government, they need to be, even if they don't have a head to think, they can get think tank that can think for them. There is nothing wrong. It's true, in another country, you have think tank. Those that will be thinking for you on education, what can we do? On transportation, what can we do? You can't know it all. But have a think tank that can think for you. Maybe the one that you are thinking is backwards. So that you have some people that are going to be thinking for you, that are going to be futuristic. Because how can you tell somebody, what is your constituency project? I renovated prayer grant. When you have hospitals, primary health center, 3-bedroom flat, you can make it a primary health center now. How much are you going to use to build it? Okay, free drugs. So anybody that has to do with malaria in this hospital, free. And I'm going to be paying so much every month. What is there? There's a lot of individuals that are doing wonderfully well in that particular. Do you know the number of NGOs? See, it's not because of NGO in this country. Although there are some people that have turned NGO into
money making.
But even not because what NGOs are doing in Nigeria, they are even better than local governments, Chairman. I'm telling you. If you know how much millions, billions, at least we tested it during the COVID-19 now.
Yes.
How many local governments are jammed? Before they started, even the one government give them, are they not stealing it? We know the one in Lagos State here, a lawmaker for that matter, rebranding COVID-19 and use as a birthday present. In this particular state that we are. We know her, and she knows herself.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that one. Well, we have another guest already in the studio, so let's quickly take a short break so we can get into it. And of course, maybe you shall share a contribution about this that we're talking about. So we'll be right back. Stay with us. So yes, welcome back. Still watching the Buzz, your favorite session of the program, and we have our guest today already. We have Sheikh Chairman of both Network and Financial Expert. It's good to have you, sir. Welcome to the show, sir.
It's good to be here. Good afternoon to the viewers. Good afternoon to my colleagues here. I missed you guys.
Yes, we did. We missed you. I was just going to say that. We missed you.
Thank you so much for joining in today.
It's a pleasure.
I think we should be thanking Mr. Nuruddin for
yes,
yes.
All the libel.
Yes. So we're talking about the Lawmaker that renovated 80 cemeteries as a constituency project. What are your thoughts? Share more about
that. It's an interesting one. As a constituency project, cemeteries. Well, you can argue that the occupants of the cemeteries are citizens as well, and they deserve some. They deserve some part of national resources applied to them. I obviously. I mean, without having to belabor this and overthink it, cemeteries need to be maintained. Cemeteries need to be built. People are going to die. In fact, do you know how much of a money-spinning business this cemetery business is? It is crazy. It's like a property business. Evolved in, of course, obviously I can't mention their names, and all of that.
Depends on your category.
Almost 15 million naira.
True.
So dying too is a very expensive business. But obviously, I mean, this is not something that we should be thinking about with regards to constituency project. Are you joking? Constituency project. Renovation. Did you say repair? Renovation of a cemetery. Wow. That's amazing. This country, there are. It looks as if we don't have enough lows that we can sink beneath. Like we keep getting new lows every day. Like there's so many issues. Who is responsible for managing and administering that cemetery? Isn't there somebody? Isn't that under somebody's jurisdiction?
In the north is always,
so it's either local government or somebody, you know. So why are they not? Why must that be a constituency project? For me, it's a bit strange. It's one of those odd bits of news you hear in Nigeria and you just shrug and say, well, in Nigeria we did. This is who we are, and then you move on. What can we do?
What can we do? Well, moving on. Well, like you said, it's not a constituency project, but it's a good thing. And like you said, from the business angle, it's a very good
no, it's not good though. We need to define that one.
Okay.
For Muslim, burial ground is cheap as anything. But the Christian, because of the processes and activities and Christendom process. In fact, you know, as a Muslim, if I died in another place, so far they can confirm I'm a Muslim, they have the right to bury me free of charge. They can easily gather money to buy clothes. That's all. They don't pay for. It's only now that we now have private cemeteries for Muslims too, but it's cheap as 15,000 naira.
Mr. Demiru, let's speak for yourself. Because I've been to some of these vaults, people that have not died yet, well-known public figures.
Yes, now. No, those
that we know them, that have bought an entire, they bought the place, and they are Muslims,
no,
well-known public figure Muslims.
The
place, their name is even written on the place.
As a Muslim, the best place to bury, that doesn't mean you cannot be buried
elsewhere, yes.
Is cemetery. And the reason there is that when people come, they do prayers, get affected. Then another thing again is that having a vault is not part of the doctrine of
at all. But there are people
yes,
exactly.
Somebody that is buried, that say he wants to be buried in Saudi Arabia.
Oh yes. Yeah, I was going to come to that.
It's not part of Islam. It's just the affluence.
It just feels like it.
Because ordinarily, burying people is a sacred thing. It's not business oriented. You know, in Islam, if somebody so close they are going to use to bury, they don't collect money. Because you know that you are going there. You understand now? Supposed to be but now I can tell you everything is business in Nigeria, especially for the rich people. But for the poor people, I didn't see
I'm telling you, it's just undertone.
It's the truth now.
50 million naira. Some certain individual in Nigeria, all their total expenses for living for 60 years may not.
You don't reach that amount.
You don't want to bury that kind of person. That's why you see me. I hardly cherish all this burial thing. Whatever you can give to your parents, your loved ones, when they are alive, that is their own. Not that somebody will now, after they the mama that you've left in the village for over 20 years that you are in Lagos, you now want to show people. You took a lot of people there.
You don't come and bury her in the Koyi.
It's so that only the body. You now take body to where mama has not used her leg to reach. You now take it to the Koyi. That side.
Terrible. That's very terrible. Anyways, we have our third guest already in the studio, so we're going to take another short break, and of course, so that we can get him seated, and we'll be right back. Cemeteries will change the channel. All right, welcome back to watching the Buzz. Welcome back to Channel 4, and we have seated. We have Chris as we're speaking with me today, but because of poor reasons, we had to bring him back to today to talk about it. But still, I have to still welcome you. It's good to have you, Mr. Chris. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
How was your journey here? First, like to get that.
You don't want me to talk about it. Yeah, because of Lagos State, I have a respect for him. Held Agege stand still. I was held up in a trap for over 45 minutes. It was terrible. We need to find a better way of doing this thing because some people will lose out in terms of appointments, in terms of emergency, and all of that. You know, coupled with the fact that the roads narrow, rough, and then the market, it was crazy. There should be a better way of doing it. Once these political gladiators come around or political rallies, it should not invade the traffic. We should just learn to stop it. For me, it's bad.
We've always said that here in the studio. I have experienced it several times.
No, but one thing there is that I think what they normally do, although that is not still the best, is that they always announce. For we that we are Agege residents, I know that from Abuleda down to Agege is no good area for me for today. So my bottom is just to go through Ogbashade, link of Ahankran, that is the better way. Or I go through.
I was actually calling for Abuleba.
But you see, I know that's the.
So, but there was no announcement.
There was an announcement.
That's the point is making.
But it won't circulate very well that everybody will know. That's the problem they have. Another thing again is that if a politician visits an area, why does he have to incompetent other people to come to that area? Why? To do what? Somebody that you are the servant to, they are the one that employ you. How can an employee disturb an employer in the company? So, and that is one of the things that we need to look around to. If you have a designated place, there is a stadium that you can use, everybody should get so that you let people play their own business.
Sorry, Mr.
It's all right. Sorry.
Okay, so let's just talk about why Mr. Chris is here today. Let's talk about the WAEC thing. So, just for clarity, I need you to, explain everything. We have a senior lecturer here, so, and he's the senior journalist. So please go ahead.
All right, fine. We all know about what happened with WAEC, and in particular since for English, and then they had to delay the students till the evening, before they could sit for
Exams.
For the exam. And we said it here then that because to start with, there are some students with examination phobia. That once it's exam, they are not at their best. You understand? So that's why some people argue that exam is not probably the best measure for knowledge and to measure knowledge and all of that. So there's that challenge to start with. Then you now delay them till the apprehension, the tension, everything. These are young people. Okay, my son sat for the exam too. He will turn 16 by October. So very young people, some of them could be 15 or thereabout. Now, how do they handle such pressure? They're already tense, they're already exhausted, they are weird out. You understand? Their fears are compounded and all of so all of this psychology has happened. And we said it then. That a lot of them will feel English. All right? And then once that happened, the YA guys will just move on like nothing happened. And then the student will have to deal with the consequence and all of that. And just as we said, 2 days ago, my son came home and then he brought his results. Physics A1, chemistry A1, and then got B's, got C's, everything, English E80. Well, he blasted his jam. We're already planning on to join his elder brother at the Renovates University and all of that. All of a sudden, he can't make it to school again. The guy was devastated. My wife and I, we couldn't sleep till late, in the midnight and all of that. We just talking about how to console. We had to come up with it. It was moody. It was so horrible. Now, there are other students that might not be able to handle it that much. I can imagine how many students will go down for that simple reason. And now, not just that, what I can maybe console him with too. There's this other guy, very brilliant young guy. He got A1 parallel except for English. He failed English. Imagine that beautiful result. A1 parallel for English. Now, my concern has always been when this guy does things like this, they get away with it. And it is the people they dump it on that suffer the consequence of their incompetence. Because when it has turned to that, they should have known that this thing will not go well with this student. They're postponed. Shift the exam, take it off that day.
Yes.
In the first place, it is just because I suspected that that problem came up because Kabiru leaked and all of that, and they had to do something about it. They just cancel the day. Understand that the students were not mentally fit to write exam at that time. That should have been the fair thing. But because in this part of the world, if you feel like you are the boss, you can push anything down your throat. And it is, I've always said, it's because there's the viability of our court. The access to the court is difficult. If it's cheap and then, or probably easy to access, for the better use of word, easy to access, and people can go in there and then sue these bodies and it not take forever, and they sue them. Somebody loses, a high-profile officer loses his job and all of that. There probably will be better reasoning because you see, for the jam that happened, the glitches and all of that, some students committed suicide. They committed suicide. So these people sitting there should think beyond their knowledge. They should reason well. They should consider the fact that.
Okay.
Well, I said just one part of it. See, this is not going to be the last that people will have if we don't do the right thing. Number one, any poor set of results we have in any public examination, number one, hold government responsible. How? Look at the environment. The private school, at least they still have some certain serene environment. What of public school? I won't mention the name of one secondary school in Lagos. I fought to the fact that I fought to Ministry of Education. What happened? One parent from that school called on one of my radio programs and told me that my child is just promoted to SS3. English teacher, no day. Economics, no day. Government, no day. Physics, no day. There is chemistry, but no mathematics teacher.
So I don't understand.
And I said, are you sure? I went to that school, confirmed.
Wow.
That's how I have to, because they did not post it that will principal go and employ teacher in a government school. Until I fought it because they could. Now imagine if those students now write WAEC and now fail. Come, are you going to blame the child? When somebody did not do from first term, second term, no,
nothing.
That one is one. Our government, especially in area of government school, then two is the area of our environment. Tell me, children of poor, ghetto, no lights. That means you have to read only in the day. If you want to buy candle is expensive.
Not like before.
It's expensive. Unlike before, we that bought candle then. So these are another thing. Then another thing again is that our people in government, they love education. Maybe because they are not educated too. Because there is a way you do when it has to do, like the one of that WAEC. We said it on this program.
Yes.
What is going to cause Nigeria? For the fact that it's a West African thing. The head of WAEC in Lagos in Nigeria can write to other West African bodies. We have an issue since you want to change exam questions because it's leave. What you just have to do is that postpone it.
Simple.
Even in tertiary institution, it happens.
Yeah.
In fact, it has happened when I was the head of the examination committee. What happened was that ordinarily me, I love when students have sat down in the hall. The question should be hot.
Very
the
hot.
paper should be hot. I love it like that. But what happened was that because those people in charge of printing, I did not give them the permission to go and print. By the time I would get, they started sharing it to different ones. I said, no, so far I didn't call for that particular printing. They should take everything back. So what I asked you just do is that tell those students, they are supposed to have it 9 to 11, that the paper has been postponed, the last paper on the examination schedule for the day. That means they are going to do it in another 2 weeks. So that if they want to prepare, and we've said the lecturers set 10 questions, make 4 compulsory. Out of your 4, we'll take 2. Then we take another 2 that is not compulsory. Imagine to be our own question at our own discretion, because to safeguard any and that's what we did. And the students were even enjoying it because that means you have longer time to prepare for that kind of paper. And that is one of the things that going forward is just that it will happen again. If we don't do the right thing, local government chairmen, what they're supposed to be doing for those people writing WAEC and they don't do. Thank God that some of them are having brain now. I've said it. Even if they don't have brain, let people think for them. Those people have brain. It is local government for public students that are going to public school. Anybody sending children to private school, to pay for tutorial, it won't be hard. But for those people in government, in public schools, just to know one thing, in your local government, maybe it's 3 centers that you are going to partner with. Even if you don't go to tutorial, because tutorial now is 20,000, 25,000, it depends on the one you are going. Now, you can partner with them. We are going to have 200 students that will come to we cannot pay 21. We are going to pay 10,000 or 15,000. Let's pay for 200. And we are going to pay for 1, 2, 3, 4 months. So that those students are going to be getting tutorial that they did not pay for. And they are getting it from local government chairman. So if we are doing it in our own pace like that, at least we are giving the pushing to those people in public. But the private school too. But for the fact that they are going to private school does not mean they shouldn't enjoy from the government. If there is a way, they can also get their own enjoyment. But the one of exam, that failure, I'm not talking about any other subject. You see that English, government, WAEC administrator in Nigeria, they are part of the problem. Although there are some students, even if you postpone it, they will not steal it. But what of those students that are ready, that are prepared, that you waited? Do you know that they waited 5 hours for them to wait, not doing anything before they brought another question? Some people started
exhausted.
Some people started 7, 6:30. You are talking about theory. that you are going to do letter writing, you are going to do summary, you are going to do comprehension, and you want a student to wait for 5 hours and be sleeping. Even if you cram, because there are some students, what they do is that they know how to manage themselves. They will have forgotten everything before they get there. Government needs to do the right thing. For the fact that we are member of WAEC does not mean we should disturb our own students if this thing happens. It is not good for learning. It is not part of educational curriculum, and we need to fight it. And I must confess, maybe because it doesn't hit me too much, but because I know that majority of the students are going to fail their English. I know because the way they put them under pressure, it's not about the age. Even tertiary institution, when you want to do a paper for 9, they now said you should sit down, it's going to start by 12. I'm telling you.
You get disorganized. Yes.
Very true. I agree with that. Okay,
I would like to wonder publicly whether something can be done about this. We understand the issues, it has happened, but are we saying that these young Nigerians, who through no fault of theirs, should suffer the consequence of administrative inefficiency or ineptitude from the organizing of bodies? I don't think that would be right. Like my brother was saying, okay, so if this was the United States, let me use that country in particular, caught in the streets, by now, a case would have been instituted and it would have been resolved very speedily, and they will be compelled to redo it. But we know, you go to court in Nigeria, you know what will happen. So now, for me, the question is there something that can be done? Is there a way, for example, that we can establish, based on data, that a disproportionately higher number of students failed? There's a standard trend in terms of, results of exams. So you just track it. Last year, the year before, what was the percentage pass rate for this particular subject in this particular area? If you are able to determine that there is an outlier data that just sticks out, and you can see that the number of failures is significantly higher, then you know that something happened. And we already know what the something is. If we're able to establish that, then I think there may be grounds to ask for some sort of a cancellation for that subject and a receipt. Is it possible? I'm not an expert in the education sector. Is that possible?
One, if it is NECO,
yes, that one is under our jurisdiction.
At least JAMB has really shown us
exactly
that law is made for people. So the reason why this one is going to be very difficult is this: those people that are supposed to push it before the results was announced, they did not push it. They don't see it as a problem. It's only the parents and the students and the tutor of those children that saw it as a problem. If they have seen it as a problem, they will have pushed for it
before the result.
This is not the first time that WAEC is being postponed. Mr. Shopino, do you know how many times? Even time of COVID-19, it happens. You remember?
Exactly, I remember.
So automatically, in fact, I could recall when after we had our own WAEC, then there was a particular situation that happened. Not even in all the country, in a particular state. I remember when I was in Kano in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. It was retaken because there was a riot that happened in Kano at that time. That students cannot go to school. And they are writing maybe mathematics or English. Was postponed. So one thing there is that those people are supposed to push it, but that does not mean the parents. That is where the association of parents,
we need to find a way for people to come together.
Talk to the minister of education, Alausa, and see if they cannot, they can go to court. Let me tell you one thing. Number one, education is fundamental right of every child. They can take it from that. Anybody can institute. Number two, the parent association of students in secondary school in Nigeria, they have a body and is registered. They can also institute that. Then a single parent can also institute it by the fact that he has a daughter or a child writing that particular exam, and he can show. Because one thing that if a student have decision in all subjects and now have
like the guy that he was talking about parallel A1 and then E8 in English.
And one thing there is that in Nigeria, another thing again is could be the court. But if it is being instituted, I know a situation. I know Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, those people from that school will remember a particular case. There was a time they take P7 then for mass com when you have in a mathematics. So, but they have it in their brochure, but they don't allow it when you are entering. During the verification, they will screen you out. One particular guy, during that screening, and he showed them in your poly, then we have poly. He's here. They said no way. Could you believe that it took 2 years before the judgment could be delivered? The guy made sure he has started another school, but the parents pursue it. The court says that they should pay damages for not allowing the boy to go to school when he wants to go to school. 2, if the child still want to go to that school, the child should be in ND2.
Oh.
Straight up.
Because they are the one, he's not the one that said he didn't want to. And that is because it was later they now changed it also in the JAMB brochure to be if you don't have credit. And that is the thing. But problem of our judiciary, the government are make sure that judiciary is far away from the public. But that does not. I want to see a parent that we institute that particular case. It may not be for only that kid alone, but we'll be able to stop this madness that will cause a situation in which a child will prepare for exam and he will be waited for 5 hours, and you want the child to be.
There's no way that child can pass.
And that is one of the
unless the person is just exceptional.
And that is the thing.
So,
because one thing there is that somebody
extra exceptional.
And even the exceptional we are talking about.
He will still suffer. He will not score the same rate. Yes,
he
would have scored.
Because one thing about summary, as much as the questions are not always much in English, your mind must be focused. Because the answers you are going to have, it could be in phrases, it could be in tenses, anything more than that. So you need to be focused on the comprehension, you need to focus on the thinking, you have to look at the paragraphing, you have to read between the lines. So immediately you have been dissolved for 5 hours. Automatically you are off the radar. You just write whatever he wants to write, and it's not good for the kids. It is not fair to those children if the association of the parents of students in public schools, private schools in Nigeria did not institute a case against the government.
So, let me just add this, please, Bosom. I'll just very quickly. Number one, those in authority should learn how to take responsibility when they should just learn to take responsibility for their incompetence, for getting things wrong, not push the burden on the other side of the divide. It is wrong. It is absolutely irresponsible. They should learn how to take responsibility for their failures. All right, that's one. Then number two, if I had to start preaching to my son in a way for them not to think that Nigeria has happened to them in a negative way. Because for that boy, now we know how we've been planning. He's been talking about it. He's excited. He's going to school and all of that. Now there's a shift. It's going to be there for another 1 year. Although we put up measures for provision and all of that, but the thing is this: we are attending to his psyche, to his mental state.
How many parents can do that?
For other students, we are sensitive to that. Probably because of my background. All right. Now, the thing here is this: these children should not think Nigeria has happened to them in this negative light. They might never change their mind about Nigeria for a very long time. These are sensitive things that these guys take for granted, because the fairest thing should have just been that postpone it.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is the reason why
Mr. Nuruddin, I want to quickly add to this. Asking you the question if that would be possible. For the case of these children that had gotten this A parallel and just that English, can't the higher institution that they have applied to, take them into school and ask them to go right?
They can't change their procedures and policies for individual cases.
Is the thing their government can do. They can push, the representative of WAEC in Nigeria can push for the rights.
You can have a rewrite in Nigeria because there was an exceptional situation in Nigeria.
And another thing again is that is the reason why Professor Isiaka Oloyede did not get much of batches.
Yes.
He will have gotten.
He took responsibility quickly.
And you know the funny thing, all those staffs involved have been arrested, they've been taken out of the system. Those people outside also have been arrested, they have already been paraded. You understand now? Those people, because there are some people that punch into their archives and change a lot of things. So they have been arrested. Those people that assisted them within the system, they've been taken out, they have been apprehended. But for the fact that he took responsibility, and all of us know Professor Isiaka Oloyede, forget it, because of his antecedent. We do know the number of times that exams were rewritten when he was vice chancellor in Ilorin. If you say a paper is 9, he believes the paper must be ready by 8:30, and the invigilators must be there. If it's more than 30 minutes, you cannot write that paper. They will postpone it. That is only a day for you. Then, if a student did not come inside the examination hall 30 minutes and it's not on the issue of medical grounds, he will not write that paper. That is his own law. So if they want to take the responsibility, they should make sure they write to the WAEC. Let us have a period. You can give them 1 month. They should come and rewrite English. So whatever you now took at that particular time is your own. So I think they can do that. And the parents should institute. Problem in Nigeria is that
everybody leaves everything to God.
Even the NGO, the human rights activists, politics that they should look at this particular one, because that's the way you say there are some children that will never go to school because of that.
Look, I would like to just, because I know we spent a lot of time on this, I would like to suggest, maybe after the show, Mr. Degbero, let's talk and see what we can do to fast track and, you know, catalyze this thing. Because it's one thing to just talk on air, but what's going to happen afterwards? And I know you are very influential in this area, so let's talk. No, it's true. Let's talk.
Anyway, that's why Mr. Chris came back today.
Okay, thank you very much.